I'm talking, and I'm saying words.
I'm also saying words.
I am engaging in conversation.
That's so true.
We're saying words that matter.
I agree.
I think the movie.
Welcome to Pulp Diction, the podcast where I talk about movies with my friends for an academic obligation. And, Nice. All right. Welcome back to the Pulp Diction podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Gibson. Who am I here with?
I'm here with Tucker, and I have a Kroger seltzer water, 0 calories.
0 calories.
And we're not sponsored, but we can get sponsored.
You think we can get a Kroger seltzer?
Yeah, we can get a Kroger seltzer water.
Seltzer water sponsorship.
0 calories, I might add.
0 calories.
Yeah,
what flavor is that?
It's lemon.
A Kroger lemon flavored 0 calorie seltzer
Yeah.
water. How about that?
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they say. That's the things that they say when they have
this
them.
makes the white people go crazy at the function.
Yeah.
White people when the function got Kroger brand seltzer water.
It's that and White
0
Claws.
calorie.
Those and White Claws. Those are the two white people beverages.
Isn't White Claw just like alcohol seltzer?
Yeah. It's spiked seltzer. Yeah.
I thought so. Or so I've been told. I do not partake in the consumption of alcohol.
As a DARE member.
You mean...
As a soda.
Soda.
Soda. Yes.
I did sign a DARE pledge in the 5th grade.
Yes. I did also.
Anyway.
Oh, okay.
This is the podcast where we talk about films, as you know.
Yes.
What film are we discussing today, my dear brother? Did you say who?
No, I'm his brother.
Yeah, you're Tucker Gibson.
It's my name.
You were supposed to be on the Almost Famous podcast.
I was.
Things went sideways.
It was like a Dateline episode. Things went sideways. And 5 hours later.
Things went real south, real fast.
Yeah.
And they're about to find out why.
Okay.
Would you like to introduce the film we're discussing today?
Yeah. We're talking about, and sorry to all audio listeners, but I'm holding up a Deadpool and Wolverine poster.
Audio listeners, love you to death.
Classic reference.
Is that a W? Bro, your references are so on point, bro. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
That's a good reference.
Yeah, we're talking about Deadpool, the
2016
movie.
Directed by Tim Miller.
Classic movie.
Mm-hmm.
Seen it twice. You've seen it three times. 3 times.
Yeah, and, we both figured we should watch it again.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the new one was... excellent.
Oh, amazing.
We both loved it.
Oh, amazing.
Just to quickly introduce Deadpool. I mean, it's one of those movies that barely needs an introduction at that point. At this point, because it's so just everyone knows what Deadpool is at this point, right? But if you somehow don't, it's a Marvel movie. It came out in 2016, like we said, and the titular character Deadpool, his whole thing is he's kind of a he's a comedic character. Right, but he's an assassin. He's very crass. Just his sense of humor is kind of what defines his character.
He's basically R-rated Spider-Man, like basically.
Except, kind of.
But he's an anti-hero.
He's very much an
anti-hero.
And it's just so graphic in so many ways. But like, you can't with Deadpool. You can't really have it any other way.
No, I mean the other day we were talking about the disgusting imagery that is said in the movie.
Yes, and so much of it relies on Ryan Reynolds and just his I don't know how much of it is improv and how much was written beforehand.
No, I don't know.
Because, the two are so intermingled with each other in these movies. But Ryan Reynolds, the main, who plays Deadpool, of course, he just does such a good job. Obviously, he's one of the greatest superhero movie castings of all time.
Oh, yeah. Up there with who?
Up there, I'd honestly put him above RDJ Iron Man.
Yeah, that's not crazy.
Above Christian Bale Batman, honestly. Because, I do think Christian Bale did awesome.
Christian Bale did good, but, his voice is so over the top.
Well, that, and also, a lot of people have played and can play Batman. But, Deadpool is just so distinct.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is one of few people who can.
And credit where credit's due. Nolan North did a
I was going to say, Nolan North is
he is
the definitive Deadpool voice in video games. And
yeah, he played him in the PlayStation video game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed.
For your audio listeners out
there.
But yeah,
so Ryan Reynolds makes so much of what Deadpool, so much of what makes Deadpool great, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like I love it. You love it.
Oh, yeah.
We both love that just crass, kind of quirky. I'd describe it as a quirky sense of humor, as much as I hate the word quirky.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Because it works for both of us, but humor is subjective.
Humor is subjective.
And a lot of people don't like Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, you show this to your 80-year-old great aunt. She's gonna probably think
Deadpool's not for everybody.
I'm into some bad things, which I'm not.
Yeah. But, like, if not even a grandma, just, like, a dude that just doesn't like Ryan Reynolds.
A Mormon.
A Mormon
sure. Wouldn't like the movie.
But I'm not even talking about, like, standards. Like, if they just don't like inappropriate humor, if they just don't like Ryan Reynolds' humor, then
it's him.
They're not going to like Deadpool.
Mm-mm.
You know? And, like, a lot of people like Ryan Reynolds. A lot of people don't like Ryan Reynolds.
Who doesn't like Ryan Reynolds?
I don't know anyone personally that doesn't.
You mean like that'd be? Oh,
but like
okay.
you know, there are people out there who do.
There's got to be,
and we respect every opinion from every walk of life on the Pulp Diction podcast.
No, if you like Captain Marvel, then I don't respect your opinion.
Word.
Probably the worst Marvel character. She's on the other side of the spectrum. Deadpool is number one.
Number one.
Number one.
He's my number one anti-hero.
Number one anti-hero. In Marvel or just anti-hero?
Probably Marvel, but like I will say Red Hood gives him a pretty good
Red Hood's great. You gotta think Rorschach as well.
Rorschach
from Watchmen
is cool.
Yeah.
I like Punisher a lot. He's easily my number 2 Marvel anti-hero.
Definitely up there.
Anyway, Deadpool itself, the movie. Do you know like the story of how they went through hell and back to get it made, basically?
Oh, it was brutal. I mean, I don't know everything. I don't know all the aspects.
Like the basics. But it was essentially a passion project for Ryan Reynolds because he got to know the character of Deadpool when a producer, I think it was on the set of Blade Trinity, which he did with Wesley Snipes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, right?
Who did he play?
He was Hannibal King.
What
I know, it all came full circle, right? Spoilers. It's been a few weeks. It all came full circle, though, right?
Oh, yeah. No,
but, yeah. He just immediately was, like, just had this very big, tight connection with the character.
I can totally see that.
And so he was trying to get this movie made for years and years. Finally, like they got a team together and everything, and things were looking pretty good. But and that's not even mentioning like the whole fiasco with X-Men Origins Wolverine,
right?
Which that had like a version of Deadpool that was just completely and for the first like half of the movie it was good, a cool Deadpool.
Yeah, I've seen like the elevator scene. He's talking.
And then Deadpool. Near the end, it's just, it's Deadpool only in name. Not even in name. It's Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
But he's Weapon 11, and he's got laser eyes and teleporting and all this stuff. And it would actually be kind of cool if it wasn't Wade Wilson, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But, like, he was like, you guys can't do this. I'm not going to do this. This is completely not what Deadpool is.
Right.
And the executives, the rat bastards at Fox were basically like, you can be Wade Wilson here, or you can never be Wade Wilson.
Yeah, that's absurd.
And, like, what else are you going to do?
No, I'm going to be Wade Wilson, you know.
And so, after that, they were a baby step closer to getting Deadpool off the ground. And they got a team together. They got the director, Tim Miller, who previously had only done, like, animated shorts
for
scary. Like video games
freaky.
And stuff.
Yeah.
Which did look really good, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But like they're not feature films. They had this team together and they managed to convince Fox to give them like a few million to make some test footage, right? Just kind of like a treatment that would capture the tone, the feel, everything that Deadpool's supposed to be about. And hopefully, with this test footage, they would convince the execs to get the rest of the project off the ground.
Is that what they did with Whiplash? With the short film?
Yeah, that was...
Okay.
The short film was basically like his pitch, I think.
Okay.
I might be wrong though, because Whiplash itself was like basically a project he had to get made if he wanted to make La La Land.
Oh, okay.
But
I didn't know that. That's kind of funny.
It's
I didn't know that.
right? Like he had to prove himself as a success.
There's some bums out there just like make stuff.
No, the studios suck. Anyway, they did the test footage. The execs were not convinced, and it was just left out to rot for a little while. And so some people, Ryan Reynolds, Tim Miller, and some of the special effects animators or somebody, like got in a room together, and they're like, wouldn't it be crazy if like somebody leaked this test footage to get the internet so that like the internet would see it and everyone would love it, thus like they'd have no choice but to make it, right?
Yeah.
And somebody, we still don't know for sure who, leaked the test footage. People are like pretty sure it's Ryan Reynolds.
It's gotta be. It's no
but it was definitely a team effort.
Yeah.
But they did that. They released they leaked the test footage, and people online loved it.
Right.
And they're immediately like, "You have to make this movie." And the studio's like, "We have to make this movie." So they got the ball rolling, and they're making the movie, but they keep making budget cuts. The budget's getting smaller and smaller and smaller until finally it's like, Deadpool budget $58 million, which is still not much for a superhero movie.
It's a big
a big blockbuster, because
like that's like double Borderlands. And Borderlands was the worst movie I've ever seen. Side note, everyone, me and Dylan went to see Borderlands for free, I might add. I would not say where, because I don't want to get any of the workers fired.
Word.
But they're real ones out there. But we saw this movie, and it was lifeless, and probably the worst movie I'd seen since Batman and Robin. Which is another can of worms. Because that movie sucked.
Okay, my controversial opinion is I like Batman and Robin.
I
mean, just view it as like a feature length 90s version of like an Adam West Batman episode, and it's it's immediately so much better.
It's just not funny. It's just like
it's silly.
Captain Freeze. That's the part I like.
Killed the dinosaurs.
The Ice Age. Yeah, no, that's bad.
It's so good.
I mean, it's a line from the movie. I won't doubt that.
It is in fact one of the lines of all time.
It is one of the lines. Yeah, but it's double the price. Budget. Double the budget of Borderlands. And that movie was like artificially made.
Actual ChatGPT script.
Please don't watch it. You sound like Deadpool.
Word.
You sound like Wade Wilson.
I might be Wade Wilson. What do we?
No, you know. Yeah.
But yeah, they kept making budget cuts, so they had to get they cut like a motorcycle chase scene. I think they had to get creative with some of their stuff. Like, you remember when they're packing up all the guns in preparation for the final like sequence where they confront Francis and everything?
Yeah.
They were actually supposed to be using like all the guns and stuff, and it was going to be like this epic showdown.
But that's why.
But the budget didn't allow them to use all the guns.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah, no, in some ways, I think the budget cuts helped them.
Yeah.
Because like they had to really make the most of what they had. And I think the runtime is like all the more tight and efficient for that. Like, I don't think much of the movie is like at all unnecessary, and the parts that are still funny. It's a very funny movie, obviously.
I think that's kind of like a thing where it's like the limitation brings out the creativity.
It definitely
does.
And
I think I've seen that in like every form of any type of media. It's just
totally
really cool to see.
Yeah, like you watch The Fabelmans, you see the ways like young Spielberg was.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Doing like these filmmaking, like poking holes in the film to make bullet shots. But yeah, like you get a smaller budget, you have to be more creative with that. Like the 12 bullets sequence too. That was supposed to be just a normal action sequence.
I didn't know that.
But like he had to get creative, so and I think it's almost like a commentary on the budget too. Like Wade himself doesn't have as much as he thought he needed necessarily, so he has to make the most of what he had. And I think it's one of the most creative, original fight scenes I've seen in a superhero movie for that. I love the 12.
recap?
the 12 bullets sequence where he's like counting down.
Oh yeah.
Like I only have 12 bullets, so you're gonna have to share.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And he's so cool too. He's so cool. He's so funny. Like that's the thing about Deadpool. Everyone knows he's funny, but he's also like absurdly good at his job.
You get the exaggerated swagger.
The exaggerated swagger of a man with cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think the budget helped them a lot in terms of creativity, but do you think it could have been... Do you think it was the best off, or better off for having those budget cuts, or do you think it could have benefited from having a higher budget, I should say?
I think it was probably one of the best Marvel movies or superhero movies I've ever seen.
Oh, easily.
So it's like, it's not the same movie if it's not with the limitations. Like the gun scene, I was like, oh, that's funny that he forgot it. I was like, yeah, that's hilarious.
It's a good...
And you got to use the swords, and like, I don't know. It's just, there's plus a risk factor, which is like, not usually for him, there's not ever a risk factor, but then it gets his friends involved. And it's like, it's the whole element
exactly,
of that.
because Deadpool's effectively immortal.
Yeah, basically.
So the stakes for him aren't usually as high in these fight scenes, but they're still fun to watch because he's cool. But like, you get his friends involved, and it's, oh, what's gonna happen? Of course, you're like, they're not gonna kill Colossus in a Deadpool movie.
No.
Kill like, I wouldn't say Colossus is an A-lister. Maybe like
he's probably like
A minus, B plus. He's one of the more popular X-Men.
B plus. I'd say B plus.
Yeah. What was I just thinking about? I don't know.
I was thinking about all the characters, and I think
the
Colossus
characters
is a top tier character.
I know they didn't really do great with him in the mainline X-Men movies. Like he was just kind of generic,
big man
X-Man number 45 that happened to have the cool metal power, right? Which is fine. It's cool. But like they didn't even make him Russian in that. They just
That's so weird.
Nothing about him was special, you know. But here he's the big, funny, like over the top, just good guy. He's the superhero character, right? Which you kind of need to have that dichotomy between like this person who's firmly on the good guy's side, and Wade, who is very in the middle, but definitely leaning on good.
Well, that's the kind of cool thing about Deadpool 2, though, is that Cable was like in the middle too.
Cable was in the middle.
Wow, Deadpool was. That's like kind of what pushed Deadpool to lean towards the good side, which is like a whole different dichotomy.
Yeah, totally. It was like Cable was like the Terminator, but if the Terminator had been sent to kill Hitler instead of John Connor.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretend like I get the reference.
Yeah, well, because time traveling, unstoppable killing machine, basically.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I know that. I just don't know that. But I don't think anything beats. Well, there's definitely stuff that beats it. But in this movie, one of the funniest scenes is when he's like trying to beat up Colossus, and his arms just keep breaking. It's the funniest thing.
It's so good.
Oh, it's so funny.
I don't know, but then when he saws his hand off too, it's so grotesque. The sound it makes.
Spoiler alert! 158 hours. Oh, that's so funny.
And then when it turns and it has the birdie up too. Just every detail of every joke in this movie is so. It's just funny. It's a funny movie. And did you fast forward the sex scene when you watched it this time?
No.
So my first time watching it without fast forwarding the sex scene, Happy Lent is one of my favorite jokes in the movie.
Well, that's funny because it's like he said that in the original comics with Joe Kelly. He said that like he's gonna give up murdering, which is like it's like a whole different thing.
I read the Joe Kelly ones a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's another. So I do think Deadpool's a good adaptation of the character from the comics, because. I'll get into what I love about Deadpool as a character later, but the thing about those early like Joe Kelly comics, right, is that Deadpool's like a straight up villain.
Yeah, no, he's not a good person.
Like Blind Al is not his roommate.
He's a captive.
She's his prisoner.
Yeah,
And when she does something bad, like he doesn't like, he throws her in like a room, right?
Yeah,
it's just a room with a bunch of sharp objects, and she's blind.
I mean, she's kind of blind. She's kind of not.
Yeah, and Weasel too is like totally different from his comic.
Well, I'd say like the actor is more similar to the character.
Yeah.
Because the actor is a freaking bomb.
T.J. Miller's kind of sucks, but I do think Weasel's really funny in the movie.
Oh, Weasel was hilarious.
Like, I'd come with you, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was just thinking. And then he's like, "Oh, we could smoke some crack." Right after that,
like, want to get high. That's Towley.
No, Towley.
He does say something along those lines to Blind Al, though.
I mean, I love all the obscure.
And all the characters are so.
All the characters are great.
Like some of the best characterization. All three of them have some of the best characterization in superhero movies, I think.
Yeah, and Francis, great villain. I think he's a very good villain. Well, like he's pretty basic.
He's very generic.
He's pretty basic.
And like I get, again, that's one thing they could have improved with the budget is not having a super basic lame villain.
True. Yeah,
like
true.
I don't know. He's just he's very generic. That's my main complaint with the movie is that the villain is like a movie's only as good as its villain, and Deadpool's villain is kind of lame.
It is pretty one-dimensional. It's kind of like, I'm bad guy.
But, like, why do you think he's cool? Like, you were just saying.
I mean, I think he's cool because it's, like, his, like, badness as a person brings out Deadpool's goodness as a person.
I guess so.
So it's kind of like he got tortured.
But, like, that could have gone with any villain.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's true.
Could have been Mr. Sinister. That would have been cool. With the whole experimentation angle.
Oh, that would be cool.
The villain is my main complaint with the movie, and I don't think he's bad, but he's... It's just very okay. Like his powers, not most of the superpowers in this movie, aside from Negasonic Teenage Warhead, are pretty basic and lame. And even hers is just like an energy blast.
Yeah, I think I don't know. His interactions with her are hilarious.
They're so funny. I'm a teenage girl.
It's just Ryan Reynolds.
You got me in a box here.
It's like she calls him cool, and he's like, "What the ass?
You're cool. What in the ass?" No, I quote that all the time.
That's the funniest line.
I go, "What in the ass?" It's such a quotable movie. I think I know a good, like at least a good fraction of Deadpool's lines in the opening from Heart by now.
Oh, what?
It's from the highway scene.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hello. I know, right? Whose balls did I have to fondle to get my very own movie? I can't tell you, but it does rhyme with Pulverine. And he's got a nice pair of smooth criminals down under.
Smooth criminals. That's another thing I love about it. It's just the weird and obscure references to pop culture.
I know.
Well, also, one thing that kind of threw me off was and this is going to sound dumb, but I think Careless Whisper was written by George Michael and not Wham.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it's a George Michael song.
I just don't know why.
But George Michael's in Wham.
But like,
it's basic, so it's like half of Wham.
Half of Wham. Wham. Oh yeah.
Tonight the music's... And the song choices all throughout the movie are immaculate. It's one of my favorite soundtracks.
Dare I say the soundtrack
movie.
of the third one is the best though. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Probably.
I think
probably because Bye Bye Bye, obviously, like a prayer, obviously.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's Hell's Bells, AC/DC, when they fight.
There's some good. That was a funny. There was some awesome scenes. I think Sean Levy, did he take over in the second one?
No, second one was David Leitch, who was one of the creators of John Wick.
David Leitch. I think third was my favorite in terms of enjoyability.
Yeah, mine honestly depends on the day because they're all so excellent.
They're really good.
Like I was just talking about the music throughout this one. I think the opening for this is just like nothing quite captures the first time you see the opening credits for Deadpool. Like when you realize, oh, these aren't normal credits. Like
it
directed
took me,
by
first time I remember, it was like halfway through, and I'm like, what is going on?
Directed by like some douche, or an overpaid tool. All that sort of written by the real heroes, and it's so good. And I do think that if the third one had continued with the silly credits gag, it would easily have my favorite opening credits in the trilogy. Yeah. And they probably still are my favorite opening credits in the trilogy.
Oh, it definitely is.
But it's close just because the first one is so iconic.
It's gonna, like, 20 years from now, it's gonna be classic.
Yeah. Yeah. And like that, just that freeze frame, which is where you really see the directing experience that Tim Miller does have with the animated stuff come through.
It's pretty cool.
Because like it's really good CGI with it moving through the scene at this frozen point in time.
Oh yeah, that is epic.
With Juice Newton playing, it's so good.
It's good. It's a good movie.
Yeah, and then X gonna give it to you towards the end.
That was amazing.
I love it. I love it so much.
And the scene where he sees the dude that he's like TGI Fridays,
Bob, which is also a reference to Deadpool comics because he's friends with someone named like Hydra Agent Bob or
I
something.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't read that one.
I haven't read them either. You know, I'm a
Bob.
comic book poser. I get most of my information off Wikipedia.
That's real. No, that's real.
And Comic Storian. Rest in peace, Benny.
Oh.
Anyway.
I don't know who Benny is.
Oh, he's the Comic Storian.
Rest in peace, Benny. Benny's doing well.
I hope so.
He's with the Jets.
Anyway. Deadpool.
Great character. Best Marvel trilogy, dare I say. I think... what would top it?
It's maybe Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. Maybe Guardians of the Galaxy.
Potentially Spider-Verse, actually. If the third one's good,
it probably will be.
That's actually true. Which is probably...
But, like, those are masterpieces. So
those are incredible. Yeah, they're just completely different.
Did I say Captain America? Because I think that's that's an underrated trilogy.
I mean, I think it's underrated, but I don't think it's the best.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But Winter Soldier is the best MCU movie.
Okay, yeah. That's fine. I'll take it.
That's fine.
I'll let it be.
What would you put over it?
Probably Marvel's.
You haven't seen it, first of all. Second of all, no.
First, no. I'd probably say, for me right now, Deadpool and Wolverine. But I have recency bias so hard right now. Like, I saw the movie, and I don't know.
Like, Bye Bye Bye's just been on repeat.
Yeah, I've played it way too much. And
same.
We saw it in 3D IMAX, which is like a whole different thing. Because if you see the third one... like regular, it's gonna be great, but like you're not gonna see people's like eyeballs popping out at you. Mm-hmm. It's a whole different.
There were
beast.
a few moments I loved in the IMAX 3D, like when the dog like comes out of the frame. And stuff. It's so cool.
But just don't watch Borderlands in IMAX 3D.
I think I saw a few ads that said it wasn't. Excuse me.
That said it wasn't
in IMAX. Anyway.
Deadpool, Daredevil. If we get a Spider-Man Deadpool
we need
collab,
a Spider-Man Deadpool.
I'm gonna be so happy. I mean, I think I could see it coming.
Do you think it should be Tom Holland that he collabs with? Because some people say that he should do a Spider-Man team up, but it should be Andrew Garfield.
I was actually about to say that. I think I could see them click.
Mm-hmm. They definitely would. But you remember that clip of Ryan Reynolds and Andrew Garfield at the Oscars
making out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both so funny.
They're funny people. It's a good. I mean. His Spider-Man gets overhated. I think.
Yeah, no, the writers did him dirty. The studio did him dirty, I should say.
I mean,
probably.
Yeah.
Avi Arad did him dirty.
I mean, that's also a good MCU trilogy. Is Home? I don't know what. Home?
People have switched Homecoming Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Just MCU Spider-Man.
Yeah.
People have switched up on MCU Spider-Man. Like they say Homecoming's not good. They say Far From Home's really bad, and they say No Way Home is also bad. I think they're all still good. Don't get me wrong, No Way Home isn't the same as it was opening night.
Oh, no, it's complete. It's like Endgame.
But
I mean, they like pause for like 5 seconds. Yeah. That's the funny part.
Like, they have the pauses because they know people are going to clap. But, yeah, I do think Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home are all good movies.
They're just fun to watch. I mean, they're not like masterpiece.
Yeah. And Homecoming, I think, stands on its own of those three the most.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's classic.
And No Way Home is, of course, a decent tribute.
It was a tribute. It wasn't.
Yeah, it's pure fan service, and I'm a fan, and I was serviced.
I was also serviced.
Because Tobey Spider-Man were some of the first movies you and I. First superhero movies.
We got super into those.
Yeah.
We got into Batman the Animated Series as well.
Yes, sir.
What is your opinion on the multiverse situation?
I think Deadpool was right.
I think Deadpool was right.
Just people are tired of it. It's not working out. Wizard of Oz did it best. We need to move on.
Wait, hold up. Wizard of Oz?
Didn't he say something like that?
I'm so confused. Wizard of Oz did a what?
I mean, I was a little bit confused too. I don't know. Isn't Oz like an alternate dimension or something? I don't know.
What?
I don't know. I'm just quoting Wade Wilson, brother. Okay, I remember. I said earlier I was gonna talk about what I love about. Okay.
Sorry.
Excuse you.
It's a seltzer. The 0 calorie.
The 0 calorie
lemon,
Kroger slush. So Deadpool as a character, what I love he's one of my favorite Marvel characters.
Yeah, I agree with that. I didn't
probably top 2 up there with Spider-Man.
That's because I'm right there.
Spider-Man's a basic answer, but everyone loves Spider-Man. So how can you not love Spider-Man? But
especially after reading, what's the comic? The one where it's like the home, the one where it's a pick between MJ.
One More Day.
One More Day. Oh yeah.
Don't talk about One More Day. Did you read that?
I didn't read it, but I have it. Yeah. It's like
for those of you who aren't virgins who know things about comic books.
Why'd you phrase it like that?
Because that's what comic book fans are.
Okay, just keep it.
Anyway, One More Day is reviled as one of the worst Spider-Man stories ever, and it destroyed him and MJ's marriage. But anyway,
yes.
One of my favorite things about Deadpool as a character is that he is funny, and it is important for him to be funny.
Yeah, yeah.
But that iconic sense of humor, that referential, fourth wall breaking sense of humor, is not just funny for the sake of funny, but it's kind of his coping mechanism.
I was thinking
because his life is so incredibly.
I was thinking
effed up.
If he wasn't funny, the movie would be genuinely one of like a horror movie. It would be so
sad.
It would be like a sad horror movie. It would just not be happy. Like,
yeah,
it's a sad movie.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
He's got one of the worst lives in Marvel.
Yeah, I think he has every right to be bad. But
I mean, he's not bad.
He's not bad. He just has the right to be, I think.
Yeah,
and like I don't.
In fact, he wants to be good.
Yeah,
but he uses that, but he knows he's not good, deep down, and he uses that sense of humor as like kind of a filter for his feelings of depression and self-loathing.
That's my favorite part about him as a character.
Easily. Is
that the humor is, I don't know, it's like self-deprecating, but not like deprecating. It's like, I mean, aware, I guess.
Yeah. And some people do say that the first movie doesn't portray that well enough. They say that, like, they kind of put their worst foot forward and leaned more heavily on the comedy side, which a lot of the movie is, like, leaning on the comedy side. But I feel like the movie did a pretty good job of showing the tragic side of Deadpool. Like, it's a good origin story movie. Like, which it's easy to fall into the trap of, like, just generic superhero origin number 87 or whatever. But, like, this movie, I think, saves itself from that trap by only showing the origin in, like, segments, right?
That was super
cool. Not making too much of it about the origin story. And making the rest of it like a revenge story. Mm-hmm. And also, obviously, just making it funny and making Deadpool just distinct as his own thing.
Yeah, I mean, in the scenes where he's like in the laboratory getting like tested on,
it's kind of dark.
It's
like
so
dark when the guy starts talking about making banana pancakes with his kids. It's so sad.
But then like he does like a little joke, and I'm like, oh, it's fine. Then I'm like, oh shoot, he's getting like actually extremely tortured right now.
Francis. Francis.
So funny.
It's so good. And did you ever realize that in that montage where he's like, his costume progressively gets more Deadpool, and they have the song like Deadpool.
Yeah.
That whole it's such a good montage. It's so funny, such good action. And throughout it, he's asking everyone, "Where's Francis? Where's Francis?" Just. Do I shoot you? Do I not shoot you? Is it more sexist?
That one's funny.
It's so good. But have you ever realized that in that whole montage, he's not able to find out where Francis is yet because he keeps saying, "Where's Francis?"
Yeah,
and he makes a point of not telling anyone his real name is Francis.
That's hilarious.
So from their points of view, he's just saying there's just this crazy weirdo in a red costume yelling, "Where's Francis?" while shooting and stabbing his way through all these guys.
He goes by Ajax.
Like he gets shot in the back. Where's Francis?
No, yeah.
And when he finally does get an answer from the creepy Agent Smith looking mother effer,
who he refers to as Agent Smith.
He says, "Where's your boss?" So
he doesn't say where's Francis.
So maybe that was what he had to do from the beginning.
Yeah,
but it's one of the more, I think, subtle jokes in the movie. I think it's a joke. I don't think it's intentional.
It's got to be a joke.
It's got to be.
Be.
They would.
There's no way.
Anyway. What was I talking about before that?
Deadpool's character. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So some people have, some detractors of the film have said that like they lean too far into the comedy for comedy's sake, and steak. I whatever. But I think it has a good balance, and there was a deleted scene. I don't know if you've seen this. That's like very much on the darker side of the movie.
I definitely have not.
Where Wade and Vanessa are going to like various hospitals just for cancer treatments. They're at this one in Mexico, in like Tijuana, talking to this old couple. The old guy has cancer, and they're just waiting to see if they can finally get a treatment that works, right? And he kind of snoops on the doctor doing a treatment of the cancer, and he basically finds out he's faking the whole thing, and he murders the doctor. It's out of self-defense. The doctor tries to kill him first, but he does stab the doctor to death, and all the patients see him just covered in blood with a shank, and so it looks bad, obviously.
That's like, I mean, they did a cool, like, they didn't disrespect cancer. That's something really cool that they did.
They like treated it very respectfully
while making jokes about it, which was super crazy.
And the thing is, Deadpool, I keep seeing stories and stuff like cancer patients, kids especially, love Deadpool.
Yeah.
Because of that humor aspect, right? Masking the pain through humor and like keeping a smile on through all that, because he's in immense pain physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
He keeps his head up through that, and as twisted as he is an inspiration to people for that reason. And it's just one of the many awesome things about Deadpool as a character.
Yeah.
Like that, and he's an inspiration for like burn victims too. People with like disfigured faces. People love Deadpool because he's
real. I mean,
he's very real. Some people who criticize this movie believe Deadpool is just unfunny.
Really?
Yeah. Which I think that we kind of went over that. I guess.
Like,
with like, if you don't like Ryan Reynolds humor, you're not gonna like Deadpool. If you don't like referential humor or inappropriate humor or anything like that, you won't like Deadpool. And I do think the second one leans more into the referential side, with like pop culture references, Marvel references especially
in the end credit scene.
There are there are a lot of MCU references in Deadpool 2, and there's also "I'm Batman," which is really fun. That's one of the funniest jokes.
Wait, was it in that one where he's like, "Oh, I just found out your mom's name is my mom's name"? Is that?
Yeah, it's the beginning of Deadpool 2. He's like, "I was fighting a caped badass, and then I found out both of our mom's names were Martha," which is so good. I love any.
And the funniest part about that
movies.
is that was like a year after that release.
It was
super close to that.
Batman v Superman was 2016, I want to say. So it would have been the same year as Deadpool 1. And Deadpool 2 was 2018. So, yeah. So
when was the last time you watched Batman v Superman?
A long time ago. I've been meaning to watch it again since before the Batman came out. I just never got around to it because I didn't want to.
Which is the best current DC movie right now?
What?
The Batman.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dawn of Justice.
What?
That's why I was confused, but brother.
No. But Invincible.
Superheroes are superhero fans are eating good not always.
I'm getting big on superhero stuff.
Yes, sir. Like And it's been a good year for X-Men as well. Like
97?
97 was insanely good. It was absurd how good X-Men 97 was. And Gambit fans especially, because of X-Men fans 97.
Yeah. I'm about to make a name for myself.
I'm about to make a name for myself, yeah.
Yeah.
You just let people know what happened here today. I didn't know my daddy, but I sure shot out his dick ready. Channing Tatum needs his own movie.
He needs his own movie. I'll watch his own movie.
It's a miracle Deadpool happened. Just because obviously we went over how difficult it was for it to happen earlier. But I'm forever grateful it did. Because it's not a perfect movie by any means. Yeah. But I think it does what it wants to do perfectly.
I think so.
It's a great portrayal. Like, I honestly think just as much as Logan is almost a perfect Wolverine movie, Deadpool is almost a perfect Deadpool movie.
That's not ridiculous. I think that's...
And in fact, if you follow me on Letterboxd.com, you see my rating of Deadpool on this last watch went up from an 8 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10. Just because, like, I've watched it enough times now that I do consider it, like, one of those movies that I can just put on whenever I want.
Yeah,
just
I think
no matter what mood I'm in. Just because I love it so much, and it's paced and structured and written and acted so perfectly. That it's just, it never gets old. I'm sure it would get old, obviously, if I watched it, like, every day. But, like, I can still... I know it well enough that at this point, like, I know a lot of the quotes by heart, but it's a place of love that I can quote those things and not being annoyed that, like, oh, here we go again.
Well, another thing, which was funny, is that this was, like, kind of like the golden age of MCU. Yeah. Is when this came out. And that's the part that's so funny to me.
Yeah, because 2016 was...
Civil War, right?
Civil War. That would have been... Yeah, because that was the year, like, all the hero versus hero movies were happening. Yeah. It was Batman v Superman, Captain America Civil War. I think the Transformers fought Optimus that year. All sorts of stuff.
But, yeah, the funny thing about that was when the parents took the kids to see it.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, that was a big thing.
Yeah.
That was a big thing.
Because it was a whole new thing for an R-rated... I will give the studio this. An R-rated superhero movie would seem like a risk. Because, like, it hadn't been done for... I don't want to say it hadn't been done, but... Because it had, obviously. I just watched Blade. Which was, like, the first Marvel movie, aside from Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck, heck yeah.
But Blade was awesome.
Dude,
and I don't know if Kick-Ass was before or after Deadpool.
Wait, what comic brand made that?
Kick-Ass?
Yeah.
One of those independent ones, I don't know. It was Mark Miller.
Ew.
You're an Invincible fan, brother.
I'm just kidding.
I do see how it would have been seen as a risk for them to take Deadpool. But, like, it's a risk that paid off, obviously, because it went insane at the box office and just went more and more insane with each entry. I mean, yeah, it was a good investment.
Do you know those people on their trucks that have, like, the Deadpool sticker on the back of it?
Those.
Do you think those people have seen it, or they just want to be cool? There's, like, the same people with the truck balls. The same genre of
I'd
person.
give them the benefit of the doubt and say they'd seen it. However, I also believe that those are probably the kind of people that don't care about the serious side of Deadpool.
True.
And just want to see him be, like, basically the adult equivalent of a minion.
It's the type of person to watch, like, American Psycho and be like, oh, he's so
Patrick
cool.
Bateman's so
He's so cool.
Or Punisher, be like, whoa.
Or Fight Club.
Really...
Fight Club. He's definitely...
all this...
Freaking these truck ball guys are the types of people to watch Fight Club and be like...
I think Walter White's the good guy.
Yeah, the... Justice for Walter White.
Skylar White's...
No, I saw this take the other day that's like, let's watch a sequel of Breaking Bad where Skylar finds a new husband and Breaking Bad happens all over again. It's like, that's such a dumb take.
That would be funny, though.
That would be funny. I don't know if they're...
She finds a new husband, it's just Tony Soprano.
It's Tony Soprano.
Yeah. Or it's Don Draper.
Don't underheat.
Or The Wire from The Wire. I haven't seen The Wire.
That's a lot of wires.
True.
Just like when he said, when he broke the fourth wall, in a fourth wall break, he's like, What's that?
That's like 16 walls.
That's classic.
And so many classic quotable jokes in this movie. It's like it gets me every time.
They kind of did like a Family Guy kind of thing where they cut to the scenes. They kind of did that.
But like good Family Guy, like early Family Guy.
Yeah, like season 1 through 5 Family Guy, not like season 20 plus Family Guy.
Yeah, that's actually a good way to put it. If you like prime Family Guy humor, you'd probably like Deadpool.
Yeah, if you like Spider-Man and Family Guy, you'll like this. That's actually a perfect combination.
I guess so, yeah. Deadpool is Family Guy Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, nothing beats the scene, though. This is from the second one. But it's just, every time I think of Deadpool, I think of the scene where he's getting shot at and he's like swinging the...
Yeah, and it's a parody of the X-Men Origins scene too, because that's in that one he's like going through, and it's awesome because he's going through the room, he's like cutting the bullets, deflecting them and stuff. And in Deadpool 2, they call back to it with Cable because he does this. It's the same exact shot where he splits the bullet in slow motion, and then he keeps going, and Cable keeps shooting, and you see him like, holy, is he actually doing it? And you see from the side, like they're all going straight through him. You see the blood everywhere, and those bullets are like really fast.
I mean, the second one's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah,
but like
maybe we'll do an episode on that.
Yeah, they're just both classic. Both classic.
What?
Oh.
You go.
No, I was just gonna say, based on what I've read, which is like half of some of the Joe Kelly stuff, is that like the portrayal was like perfect and they changed what they needed to change and they kept what they needed.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been as friendly to new audiences if Deadpool was keeping Blind Al as a prisoner.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
And like threatening to murder his friend. Well, he does threaten to murder his friends. But like not jokingly threaten to murder his friends, I guess. Yeah, they did change it more to make it more accessible, and I do think a lot of the changes were good.
Yeah, they were.
That being said, I'm not like a crazy diehard comic book fan.
Yeah, right.
I read a good chunk of the Joe Kelly run. I don't know if I finished it, but what I was gonna say, to kind of take a left turn, I feel like one of the reasons I like the first Deadpool movie is like, I've talked about how tight it is, right? How they kind of make the most of their runtime, which is pretty short. Okay. Yeah. But I also, one of the other things I like that the other two don't really have is that this one's, aside from arguably Deadpool and Wolverine, is that this one's kind of like almost a rom-com wrapped up in a superhero movie.
Yeah. It is.
Like, I feel like Deadpool 1 is a very raunchy rom-com at its core. I mean, and without that emotional core of being a rom-com, it wouldn't be what it is, you know?
Which is such a weird, twisted thing for, like, just their dynamics.
Yeah, like, people. she's a hooker, he's a mercenary, and, I mean, he says it best himself, though, like, her crazy matches his crazy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I do think Vanessa's a good character.
She is a good character.
It's kind of funny for me watching her now, having seen... I think I watched most of Gotham. I never finished it. Having seen her as Lee Tompkins in Gotham, who's Jim Gordon's girlfriend. And he's the actor for Jim Gordon in Gotham. She's her wife. His wife. She's his wife. IRL.
You just said IRL. Wait, whose wife?
The actor who played Jim Gordon in Gotham.
Oh. The press for all these movies have been great.
Oh, the marketing for Deadpool is unmatched.
They did some crazy stuff.
They did. They've been doing crazy stuff for all three.
And
it's great.
For what they want to do for the third one, which I just heard Ryan Reynolds say, is like release like a random...
I heard about this. Like Super Cop or something?
Like something absurd.
Just a crappy
and
B movie. Release a crappy fake B movie called like Super Cop. And they'd get like 10 minutes into Super Cop, and then the Marvel logo would roll, and they'd be like, this is Deadpool.
It's Deadpool. Which would be funny for people that wanted to see Super Cop.
The one guy that was like, ugh, give me my money.
The one guy walks out.
Dang it. Is there any other? Oh, I just remembered. Oh, did you have something you'd like to say?
I was reacting, dude.
Oh, my fault, gang. No, it wasn't. It was your fault. One thing I remembered that I love about Wade Wilson's portrayal in this movie, but also in the next movies, is that, like, they kind of show his... Like, obviously, he puts up that veneer of just the funny, silly guy that makes jokes about everything. But there are always these little moments that I think are the best ways they show he's not just the funny, silly, goofy comic relief character, I should say.
4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah, but like I made a short list of these little things that show his true colors. From the first movie, Wade tackles Negasonic, teenage coolest name ever, as he said, when he tackles her to the ground when the bad guys open fire, which I'd never noticed before. He tackles her out of the line of fire.
Yeah, I think I'd remember.
Like his priority is to get the kid out of harm's way.
Yeah.
And the second little thing I noticed was also in like the final act. It's where early on in the fight with Francis, he throws one of his swords at the container with Vanessa in it, right? The thing that regulates the oxygen to make you barely able to breathe. It's like the torture device thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he cracks it open immediately, just to ensure that not even for a few minutes she has to go through what he went through to become Deadpool.
True.
The big little thing that I remember from this whole trilogy was in Deadpool 2, when after he shoots the guys at the place.
Oh, and he puts on the thing?
Well, I'd say that's one of the big things.
Oh, okay.
But when he first meets Russell, right? And he shoots a couple of the caretaker guys, right?
Oh, yeah.
You remember?
Uh-huh.
Like, after 4 or 5 moments, that's all it takes to be a hero.
It's
such a good callback.
It's a good
and
gag.
Such a good setup to
just
a
like
to the
Yukio.
punchline.
All the Yukio. Anyways.
But, like, he's, like, tackled, and Colossus is like, why, Wade? Why? And what does Wade say? That kid was abused. You can tell. It's in the eyes. You can tell. You can always tell. Yeah. And that one line, I love it so much, because you can just immediately, like, there's something deeper under the surface of Deadpool. Yeah. You can tell. You can always tell he was abused. Yeah. I don't know.
That's a
lives in my
line.
head rent free.
That's a crazy line. Yeah, that's really good.
And just that relationship Ryan Reynolds has with Deadpool, he knows him so well that he's able to put all these little details in. And it's that love for the character, I think, that shines through not just Reynolds, but everybody who had their hands on this movie. Yeah. That make it such a good film. Because I think I've said this in previous episodes before, but I love when you can just tell that that a cast and crew loved making a movie, just the process of doing it. Because I do think that passion shines through in the final product.
I got that the same feeling when I watched Green Lantern.
You haven't watched Green Lantern.
I don't need to.
And they hated making Green Lantern. Although he did meet Blake Lively on there, so...
Is that actually?
Yeah. Yeah, she was his love interest.
He's doing things with the press, where there's like a photo where this guy grabbed her butt in you know the movie It Ends With Us?
Oh, It Ends With Us?
Yeah, and he's like showing the dude the photo in interviews. It's really good press. Yeah,
did you see the video of Ryan Reynolds interviewing the guy, her love interest in It Ends With Us? It's so funny. And then Hugh Jackman comes in too.
Oh, it's funny.
And Ryan's mom.
Ryan's mom, I didn't see that.
It's such a good video. Go watch, like, It Ends With Us Ryan Reynolds interview with Brandon. It's one of those weird names.
Zygerphone.
One of those foreigners. Nah, I mess with it. I liked him in 1923. But,
that's a long time.
Yeah, the crew of... You just said that's a long time. The crew of Deadpool and the cast it's so clear that they love the movie and the characters so much, and I think it shows, and that kind of thing bleeds through to the viewer to the point where you kind of feel that some of that love too. As cheesy as it is, the secret ingredient is love, you know what I mean?
I'm about to throw up. That was yucky.
Yeah, and because Deadpool's such a... I mean, at the time, he was pretty much a B-lister, aside from the video game and stuff. Like, he wasn't very mainstream.
That's Captain America, too.
A lot of the mainline MCU characters,
True.
like Cap, Iron Man, Thor, were all, like, B-list. Like, they had a level of freedom with Deadpool that they wouldn't have had with a big character like Spider-Man, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or Wolverine, they always faced these limitations on. It took them 3 movies to finally get a... Well, the Wolverine was okay, but Logan was a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah. Good movie. I think Thor Love and Thunder is like a failed version of Deadpool, I guess, where they tried to do like the humor thing, mix it with seriousness.
Well, they saw people
like,
liked
so
Ragnarok, and they...
kind of overboarded the humor, I think.
Yeah, they went too hard on the things people liked that was different about Ragnarok. Which, here's another... This is like my third unpopular opinion I've stated in this episode. The first Thor is actually pretty good. I really liked it. I was surprised how much I liked it. It's not great, but it's pretty good. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it last time I rewatched it.
I've seen that in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I hadn't either. I just assumed it was bad because everyone says it's bad. But like, I haven't rewatched Dark World, so I won't speak on that. I don't have much desire to either. Take that as you will. But like, I do feel like they needed to start taking Thor... Well, Ragnarok was a comedy, a comedic movie, right? But Love and Thunder kind of didn't really have any of these moments of levity where they allow the characters to take themselves and everything around them seriously.
There was like, I think there was a split second of one in a hospital.
There were a few... Yeah,
there was like split seconds, but then the next moment it's just
talk about treating cancer with respect.
Yeah, like what is that?
Yeah, Love and Thunder, they didn't have enough of that serious... Peak MCU Thor was in Infinity War, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like, that was when he was at his coolest and most serious as a character. And then in Endgame and Love and Thunder, they just completely backtrack on that serious... I appreciate what Endgame went for in, like, him hiding in this, like, goofball demeanor to hide, like, how... Because everyone he loved died.
Yeah.
And he lost his people and his...
I do think it would have been better if they made it,
but
like,
they didn't
serious.
really execute it that well.
Yeah, no, like, it was just supposed to be, Fortnite,
Yeah. Whereas you look at Deadpool, I think they executed that same concept perfectly in every single movie.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they also did the same exact thing well in Spider-Verse with the first Peter Parker. When he's like crying in the shower and stuff, and he's like eating pizza.
Oh, Peter B.
They did that perfectly.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
so
perfect.
funny. It's so funny.
Yeah, and like,
but it's so good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just perfect.
Yeah, but Spider-Verse is a masterpiece. So.
It's definitely a perfect movie. There's just very few that can be like it. I've seen it multiple times, and every time is like you notice something that's better than the last.
Of course.
I mean, I gotta rewatch Daredevil, which is...
We need to rewatch it before... I think Born Again comes out in March.
Yeah, and my hot take before... Well, no, my hot take may still be that Daredevil is the best project to come from Marvel.
Oh, I agree.
From Marvel. Just from Marvel. Ever.
I agree.
Like anything recorded live action. There's
maybe not comics. Maybe not comics.
Yeah, probably not comics.
But, like, in terms of, like, TV, movies... TV or movies. Daredevil is the best thing. It's canon to the MCU.
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
Always has been. They just weren't allowed to like make a lot of references to it when they were on Netflix.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, but like you can see a few things. Like there is one-off line about throwing. Like, what am I supposed to do? Throw a shield or something?
Oh yeah.
And you can see in the background of the news place they wanted to make it the Daily Bugle. In the background of the news place, there's something about the Battle of New York.
Yeah, and there's like a photo. Yeah,
from Avengers 1.
I've seen that.
So, yeah, Daredevil's always been canon. It's just they're only recently starting to acknowledge it, because they are starting to realize, like, people will still see the R-rated stuff.
Oh, man, that is the greatest television
It's
I've, like,
Daredevil's
ever seen.
peak Marvel.
It's peak television.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like, as good as Breaking Bad. It's up there.
It's up there.
I'm getting way off.
But The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Daredevil.
You think The Sopranos is better than Breaking Bad?
I do.
Do you really?
I do.
Wow. What about finale? Like, if you compare the finale, which one's better?
Probably Breaking Bad.
But that's finale, so it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I don't hate The Sopranos finale. Do you know how The Sopranos ends?
I don't, but I know it's controversial.
It's very controversial. Like, here's the thing. I said this in my Letterboxd episode. Not Letterboxd. I said this in my Sopranos episode.
Oh, okay. For all you avid listeners out there.
Yeah. Our returning guest, people.
The one.
My one fan. I have a fan.
Thanks, guy.
Leave a like on this video, fan.
Or gal.
Or, yeah. Or gal. Or, I said fan. That's... Oh, anyway.
Do you have, like, a poster of the podcast in your room?
Yeah.
New episode.
Yay! We shouldn't be, please don't insult my fan.
I was watching Family Guy earlier today, and there's an episode where Peter's going to see his ex-girlfriend, and the house is just photos of Peter. And
Peter?
Her hand was like black, because he's like, I haven't watched this since you last touched me.
Oh.
That's what I see of your fan.
I love Family Guy.
That's what I see in your fan.
I'm tired of pretending I'm not. I don't.
Not? You don't love Family Guy. Yeah, everyone's got to love some Family Guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I dare say the early Family Guy was like Mel Brooksian.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
I was saying Daredevil was the greatest thing.
Oh, and then Sopranos. Yeah, the pretentious Letterboxd using film bro side of me thinks the Sopranos finale is perfect and amazing, but like the normal
from
TV
enjoyability standpoint,
watching side of me, from enjoyability, it was still good, and the normal side of me is still like it's pretty good, but I was still also like, really, you know?
Yeah. No, I know what you mean, but I think. Back to Daredevil.
Yeah.
It's like, since I read Born Again after I watched it, I'm like, wow, that's a great
Born
adaptation.
Again is such a good story.
Because season 3
is basically
like a very, it's like, I wouldn't say very loose, but it's like a
like
mix.
Instead of the random crazy guy, they have Bullseye.
Yeah.
Which I loved how they did Bullseye.
Which Born Again is a comic book made by Frank Miller.
Frank Miller. He's had his ups and downs.
He's definitely not on his ups right now, but
he hasn't been for a long time.
Hey, maybe he'll get back.
But hey, he made Batman Year One, okay?
What? He made some really bad Batman. What?
He made
All-Star Batman. All-Star.
He made All-Star Batman, not All-Star Batman, All-Star Batman and Robin.
Oh.
And he did The Dark Knight Returns, which is a masterpiece.
Oh, that's a good
and then he did The Dark Knight Strikes Back, which is a sequel and sucks.
Yeah, he does too much.
Who's my top 5 just superheroes? Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Daredevil.
Is that
Captain America?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah.
Is that what you just did?
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that. I mean, I wouldn't make it like an order, but I'd probably say currently right now, Deadpool's up there for me.
Oh, for sure.
Which is so biased.
I mean, I didn't include Deadpool because he's not a superhero. He's anti-hero, but...
I mean... Put him up there with Spider-Man.
Definitely.
You can never go wrong with Spider-Man. He's
S-tier. Deadpool is S-tier Marvel character.
And I mean, it's just like, when you add all these things like comics to like video games to movies, you get all these audiences all across.
Some people have said that the Deadpool game, neither of us have played it.
I want to
Some people have said that that's one of those things that, like, it was basically Deadpool's introduction to the mainstream, right?
Yeah.
And in doing that, they had to make a good first impression. But some people have said that they put their worst foot forward in doing that, and did kind of the like full comedy side, and none of the seriousness of Deadpool.
That makes sense.
I think it's what I watched. This guy Godzilla Mendoza. Shout out to him. He's like a huge Deadpool fan. He has the Deadpool logo tattooed on his arm.
I think I've seen that guy.
He has. I love his videos. He's like how I learned more about Deadpool, and he's I don't know, I agree with most of his opinions.
Deadpool.
Sexy.
They always have these funny songs in the movies.
They do, because the first one had Deadpool, sexy mother. Yes. And the second one had You Can't Stop the Juggernaut, You Can't Stop this mother.
There's a
holy shitballs.
Yeah,
holy
that one always gets me.
Oh, every time.
Every time.
Did Deadpool 3 have one?
I actually don't know.
I don't know. They had the orchestral version of Like a Prayer.
That was actually epic.
That was gas.
It was epic.
She finally put it on Spotify. Dropped it like a...
With like a choir, right?
Yeah. Did you see
I saw Sean
the
Levy.
video?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Deadpool's put me on to some music.
Yeah.
Like, Angel of the Morning is a banger. I'll be honest. X Gonna Give It To You is on my playlist now because of Deadpool.
DMX.
Yeah. The Juggernaut.
Juggernaut. What a funny thing to do. No, I feel like if I were like working out, I would add that, but then I would just start laughing. I would like completely bust my
Be
rep.
like in the middle of a lift, and then you just drop.
I just die brutally.
Just as holy shitballs, holy shitballs. Very fitting.
Was it in this one? Oh yeah, the scene in this one where he's like he sees Vanessa. Wait, frick! No, that's the second one.
Are you talking about 2?
Yeah. I got it mixed up, but like You're Not Ready Yet. That was super cool.
Yeah, I loved all the. I will say, I think Deadpool is probably the most well-rounded of the trilogy.
Yeah,
probably the most efficient and the tightest. I think at least 90% of the jokes land in Deadpool, and there are a lot of jokes.
What are the ones that don't?
Okay.
Do you have any? That
I don't. None off the top of my head.
Because none of them miss like completely.
No, none of them do. Not for me anyway.
Completely. Yeah,
it's definitely the most just solid of the trilogy. I think the second one has higher highs from like an emotional and dramatic standpoint. Like,
dare I say, funny too.
Funny highs, probably.
But there's some
like funny. the baby legs bit. And he and Cable have such a good dichotomy.
Yeah.
In the last bit, Russell's really funny. Weasel continues to be funny. And
didn't happen in the third one, but
we had Peter instead, so I think it's a good trade.
That was a great trade.
It's an awesome trade.
Peter freaking rocks.
Peter's the GOAT.
Yeah, dude.
But, like, I think Deadpool 2 had a lot more jokes that didn't necessarily hit. I don't know if they straight up missed, but, like...
They weren't like, ha!
It was mostly, like, stuff that referenced the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't... And maybe that's because, like, I've become more cynical towards the MCU. Maybe at the time it would have hit for me. Because 2018 was the year of Infinity War. So, like, that's peak Marvel.
That's peak Marvel.
And then Deadpool 3, I think, is also very solid. I don't want to talk about Deadpool 3 too much, because I do have plans for an episode on that.
Right.
But I do think Sean Levy captures the MCU feel, like peak, prime MCU feel pretty well. And he did that.
He does it so good. He has, like, the whole blockbuster feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what the movie needs, is because it's, like, a big finale. Yeah. Like, balls to the walls.
Balls to the wall.
Crazy, freaking awesome movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know. I look at the poster and I just smile.
I hear Like a Prayer in my head.
No, I like actually, yeah.
And it feels like home.
This is what you hear when you get to heaven, folks.
And then he puts the cowl on.
Oh yeah.
I just so they posted the soundtrack version of Like a Prayer, not the orchestral one, the one that plays like building epic. Up to and during the final fight, and like you can, it's so funny listening, not funny but awesome, but also funny, awesome funny.
But all
when you listen to it, because, and spoilers if you haven't seen, whatever. It's so cool when you listen to it because you can pinpoint the exact moment in the soundtrack when Wolverine puts the cowl on.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Because there's just this rise. And I rose a little when I saw that.
Yeah.
That movie made me rise. lot.
You had to get your...
See, the joke is I'm talking about getting a boner. About being aroused by Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh. I thought you were just... I didn't know what you were referring to.
Oh, did you actually not get that?
No, I did.
Okay.
I thought you had to get your Hulk fists. You had to get the...
Masturbating.
That's so funny.
Didn't they post that clip online with Jon Favreau?
They definitely did. I think, honestly, that joke probably would have sucked if it were anyone else delivering it.
Yeah.
Like, actually?
Yeah.
That would not have been funny if it were anyone else.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's the kind of joke, like, I would have derided... I don't know if I would have
made the face at you.
Do you have any final thoughts on Deadpool?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great Marvel movie. Great movie. I think if you like anything with, like, raunchy humor, go ahead and watch it.
And if you like superhero movies, you'll
enjoy it. You'll enjoy it.
Like,
I mean, the references.
Because it is, like, it does... It is almost a satire and parody of superhero movies,
true.
But it is a superhero movie through and through. Even if it is a different kind, it still is one. So it follows a lot of the same trappings, I guess, of superhero movies and formulas.
Yeah, it does.
And if you're not into that, or Marvel in general, then sorry.
Piss off.
Because it's not for everybody.
Lamos.
Deadpool's not for everybody.
You nerds.
But that's okay.
No.
What I will say, it's okay that it's not for everybody, but I'm sick of, like, the pretentious douchebag dorks who are like, this is anyone over the age of 15. I am concerned for your mental well-being. If you enjoy this, you're an immature child.
Actually, please don't watch this.
This is corporate.
Are we just gonna, like, keep straying? We're just gonna get to the... it's gonna get so off, and it's just, you know...
Yeah.
I just couldn't hate on the movie. I couldn't hate on the movie.
I love it so much. It's almost... At the point it's at, it's almost a comfort movie, I won't lie.
That's such a weird...
It's on the way to becoming one.
That's a demented comfort movie. But what are your top 3 comfort movies, though?
Oh, Star Wars 4, Star Wars 5, Star Wars 6.
What a stupid answer, dude. Frick off. Say one
okay,
Star
that's
Wars.
cheating. That's cheating.
That's
if I had to
cheating.
choose one, it's Empire, then Back to the Future, then I'll say The Muppets. Lock it in.
The Muppets?
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah, dude. Freaking...
Now, have you rewatched that anytime?
No.
It's so comfy. It's such a comfy movie.
Give me Lego Batman. Give me Lego Batman for one of mine.
Real.
Freaking... honestly, I could see Karate Kid as one of them.
Fair.
Karate Kid.
Fair. That's not crazy.
It's a good movie.
It's wonderful.
Frick.
Rocky.
Rocky's good, but give me Lilo and Stitch. Classic movie. Or Wreck-It Ralph, there, I say.
Dude, were more of a Wreck-It Ralph guy
I'm a
than
big
me.
Disney guy.
The amount of times that
like,
movie was on in this house when you were younger, purely because of you, was absurd.
Dude,
it was obscene.
Don't even get me started on my Hamilton.
That... No, I was about to say, like, the amount of times I heard, "When can I see you again? When can
Yeah, and that's the ending credits, so that means I watched the whole movie.
I know. But Hamilton, dude, when this guy had a Hamilton... I was in, like, middle school. When this guy had a Hamilton
Elementary
phase,
school, guys.
I heard those songs I was at
I don't know how you
point
survived.
I don't know. And, like, when we went to see Hamilton, I was fully prepared to hate it, and then I couldn't eat because Hamilton. It's just so. Good.
It's classic. Yeah.
I keep like trying to wrap this up, and then we go on another tangent.
Yeah, I know.
It's kind of rough.
I know.
I think this is gonna the in-person ones. I always have to do a lot of editing. I think I like doing in up. I think I like doing in-person episodes. It wasn't that funny, little bro.
No, if you get...
What? If I get
it
what?
Was funny.
What?
Nah.
What time is it? 11:10. Awesome sauce.
Left.
Yeah, I like doing the in-person episodes more than online, I think I've realized, because, like, the conversation just flows a lot better. I think. It's just a lot funnier. It does end up having to have a lot more editing. I don't know if it's an in-person conversation thing or if it's a you and Lily thing, because you guys will get so off topic
I
so
do
fast.
get pretty off topic. Yeah.
I'm okay with it, though.
It just happens. It happens, guys.
Like, you know, I had to cut just 30 minutes of straight yapping between Lily and I from the Labyrinth episode.
About what?
Just, like, random horror movies and stuff.
That's kind of funny.
And, like, the episode turned out pretty well. We got most of, like, what was necessary on there. But, like, we were recording for hours, and a lot of the footage got, like, lost. So, I'm like... And the episode was, like, an hour long, so I'm like, how long would this have been if she didn't have ADHD, you know?
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, this has been fun. I do have one final question for you.
Oh.
How do you feel? I
feel good right now.
For a while... No, that's not the question.
Oh.
So for a while, I've been meaning to start asking my guests this question, and I haven't gotten around to it.
Oh,
I've been meaning to start asking guests this question since the Twisters episode because of a really funny...
Pretty good movie. I'd give it 7 out of 10. Anyways.
Because of a really funny piece of conversation I had with Emma Jo. And I want to start asking all my guests this. So, Tucker, how do you feel about McKenna Grace?
And I think this is a relevant question to the topic, actually.
Because
McKenna Grace has been in many movies. And we're talking about a movie.
And we are talking
about a movie.
Yes.
So if you put them together, they're like...
But how do you feel about McKenna Grace?
Dude, I think she's good. I saw her play Fortnite.
With Connor Eats Pants.
With this YouTuber.
Connor Eats Pants.
Connor Eats Pants.
Shout out to Connor Eats Pants.
Shout out to Connor Eats Pants. He be eating the pants.
He does not eat pants.
He'd be eating the pants.
Okay.
He be eating the pants.
But that was a funny... I think...
She's humble. I think she's humble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, she's a good actress. I think she did very good in Ghostbusters Afterlife. And she was in, like, a lot of random 2000s movies.
She was in Young Sheldon. I haven't seen Young Sheldon.
She was, like, a love interest to Sheldon, right?
She was his rival, I believe. His intellectual rival.
Well, you know, rivals to lovers, you know. They be doing
They're children, Tucker?
No, they be doing that.
You're right. I don't know if they're love interests though. It did seem framed that way from like the TikTok clips I saw. Don't crease my poster.
I was falling.
Why?
I didn't go to the poster.
Why are you falling?
I didn't go to the poster.
Because Emma Jo hates
Why?
McKenna Grace.
What did she give reasons, or she just
No, she just can't stand her. I said it's probably because she's younger than her and more successful.
More successful? Okay.
Yeah.
That's not crazy.
Which she thought McKenna Grace was older than her at first. She's only a few months older than me. She was born in June 2006.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean...
Yeah. Anyway, I guess that'll wrap it up for this episode of Pulp Diction, the podcast.
It's a funny name too when you think about
Remember
it.
to
It's like the
shut
movie
up. Yes. Remember to like.
But diction means talk.
If you're on YouTube, yes, diction does mean talking. Which
so Pulp
Diction.
Diction.
A lot of people I talked to didn't know that. A lot of people thought it was just
weird
making
words. When you got your wisdom teeth removed, you said like I am sentient or something. you just know the big words, don't you?
Gubernatorial.
Did you say that?
No. I'm quoting Deadpool again.
Oh yeah, true. I'm gubernatorial. What does that mean?
I think it's like related to state government or
I'm not
a governor or something. Yeah, bro is not the governor.
Who are you voting for?
I haven't registered yet, but I won't say.
Gonna be able to?
I'm gonna be 18 by the election, little bro.
But I'd be saying subscribe to the YouTube.
Yes, if you're on YouTube, remember to like and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications every time we post a new video.
Jen_Eric.
That's so true. Subscribe to Jen_Eric. Subscribe to my friend Eric, Jen_Eric on YouTube.
Please.
He
posts
video gaming videos. He just posted Fortnite.
Fall Guys.
He just uploaded a
video essays.
A video where he plays only... Are you going to interrupt me again? No?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. He just
Phasmophobia.
Eric just uploaded
a variety of
Eric just uploaded a video where he played what's that game? Chained Together with my other friend Aaron, which was really funny.
Who's no generic, but
he's no generic, but that's why he doesn't have his own YouTube channel, you know.
Yeah.
And also remember to go hit us with a follow on Spotify.
5-star rating would
5-star rating
advantageous.
Would be excellent.
Oh,
excellent.
Words,
yes.
Dude.
Quite immaculate.
And watch the Deadpool trilogy.
Please do. Please do. Oh yeah, I've noticed we have 0 listeners on every single episode on Spotify, aside from like the first few.
Wait, what?
I haven't told you this. Every Spotify episode I post has 0 listeners. I get YouTube views. I've gotten a few hundred YouTube views.
0 is wild.
But 0 Spotify listens. None.
People see the logo and they're like, "Oh hell no!" People see it.
Nah, I won't. Oh man, you think so?
Yeah. No, I'm kidding. It's fun.
I was gonna say I worked hard on that logo.
I'm kidding. It's fun.
I took that picture like so many times before I thought it looked right. I just had it set up over there. I was laying down on my floor, kicking my feet up.
That's the fun. That's the one.
It took me a while, and it kept falling over too. I was getting really upset. Catch you next time. Catch you next time, Pulp Dictioners.
Wait, they gotta have a name. The Dicks.
We're not calling them the Dicks. What? Don't grab my blue snowball microphone. Ooh, little neck crack. Catch you on the flip flop.